press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, we have been discussing about the chapter physical and chemical changes, and in the last class we have discussed what exactly change is, and there are majorly two types of changes, that is physical and chemical, and we have briefly discussed about the physical changes in the last class. In today's class, let us see more about the second type of change, that is chemical change. When I say physical change, which means there is a change in the physical properties, right? And when it is chemical changes, this means substances undergo change in their chemical composition. Okay, chemical change means there is a substances which undergo change in their chemical composition. Okay, example, yes, rusting of iron. Okay, you might have observed, right, when there is iron, okay, iron rod or something, when this iron is kept outside, okay, this iron reacts with the atmosphere, okay, it reacts with the air and water, and after a few years or after a few months, there is this formation of brown or reddish substance on the surface of iron, right? So that is, okay, this is the iron rod, okay, some brownish or red color substance is formed, so that is nothing but the rust. Okay, this rust is not iron, okay, the reaction, okay, when this iron reacts with the atmosphere, you know, the atmospheric air or water, that's when this, this rust is formed, okay. So this is a new substance formed, right? Here, due to the chemical reaction, due to the change, here's a new substance formed, right? So in chemical changes, what happens? There is a formation of new substances, unlike in physical changes. Okay, so when iron is exposed to the atmosphere, this rusting of iron takes place, and that rust is not iron, that is the new substance formed, and hence it is the chemical change. That is, in the chemical changes, new substances are formed. Okay, example, rusting of iron. Yes, one more example is cooking an egg. Yes, breaking an egg is a physical change, right? There is a, okay, when this egg, okay, if you break this egg, okay, there is no change in the physical form. There is no change in the chemical composition. Yes, of course, there is only physical change. Okay, it was something else, and because of the breaking, it has become like this. Okay, we can visibly see the yolk and this egg white, right? But cooking an egg is a chemical change. Okay, this is the breaking of egg, and when this is put into pan, okay, and pan to make an omelette, right? So that is something the chemical change, okay. And here, even there is a change in the physical form also, okay. So the breaking of egg is physical change, whereas again this making omelette from an egg is a chemical change. Clear? Understood what I'm trying to say here? See, when you break an egg, there is no chemical composition, no difference. It's just the same. Whatever inside was present, because of the breaking, you can see it outside, right? There was nothing change in the chemical composition. But when this egg is, made into omelette, there is change in the chemical composition. Also here, also the liquid, okay? This egg white is liquid. So while preparing an omelette, it becomes solid, right? So whether there is change in the physical properties or not, there will be change in the chemical properties in the chemical change. Okay, clear? So what happens in physical changes? There must be a change in the physical properties, right? But in this here is also physical change. That is a liquid of egg white is a liquid, right? So because of this omelette making, that turned into solid. Okay, so doesn't matter in chemical changes, it doesn't matter whether there is change in the physical properties or not, there will be a change in the chemical composition. Okay, so whatever the proteins what we had in this omelette, in the raw omelette, that protein structure changed when we made omelette of it. Okay, so that is the chemical change I am saying. So in chemical changes, not necessarily, okay, in chemical change, not necessarily physical properties change. But but compulsorily this chemical composition should be changed. So that's where it is called chemical. Okay, whether there is change in the physical or not. Okay, but there will be change in the chemical composition. Okay, but necessarily there will be change in the chemical composition. Clear? So this is about the chemical change. We'll see few more examples on this chemical change now. Another example is rotten fruits and vegetables. Okay, what you do soon after you get vegetables and fruits, you keep it in refrigerator, right? Or you just cover it and keep it, okay, so that it don't get spoiled. But when you keep these fruits or vegetables outside, okay, if you take an apple, okay, when you take an apple and keep it outside, after some days it becomes rotten, right? Reddish coloration you can see, or when it is half eaten, or when this apple is half eaten, after some time you can see this changes into dark brown or almost black color, right? So this is about apple. And if you keep orange, okay, if this is orange and you keep it outside, okay, there's the formation of something green color. You might have observed all this. Some green color formation takes place. Okay, so likewise, what I'm saying is when you keep these fruits and vegetables outside, okay, without refrigerating, these food items or these fruits gets spoiled. Okay, and also vegetables, you take some potato slice. Okay, if this is the potato slice, after you just cut the potato slice and keep it outside. Okay, after few minutes itself you can see there is black coloration. That is nothing but this potato is getting spoiled. Okay, whatever I am showing here, after some time these fruits are getting spoiled, that is being rotten. Why does this happen? Why? Because when you are keeping these fruits and vegetables outside, so that atmosphere is favorable for the growth of microorganisms. Okay, so when you keep these in refrigerator, it's very cold, right? So microorganisms do not grow on these food items when you keep it in refrigerator. But the same food items when you keep it outside, okay, not in refrigerator, no, when you don't heat the food items, these food items or these fruits and vegetables, they get spoiled. It's because of the favorable condition. It's because of this moisture, the microorganisms grow on these substances. Okay, and when microorganisms grow on these substances, even they start eating this. Okay, even the microorganisms feed on this. Okay, and due to that feeding, there is a chemical change in this food item. So while they are feeding, either the nitrogenous compounds are formed inside or the carbon compounds are formed. Okay, likewise there is a change in the chemical composition of these fruits or vegetables. Okay, again this is the chemical change. Again, for example, if you keep a piece of bread outside, okay, you clearly can see after 2 days there are small black color or somewhat spore-like structures are formed. So that is nothing but a fungus, right? Again the microorganisms. Okay, so that is the chemical change what we can see. Another example. Yes, one more thing. Like when you see these rotten fruits and vegetables, so after rotting, does it happen like does it turn into the normal fruit again? No, right? Once spoiled is spoiled. Once rotten is rotten. Once it's rotten, it's gone. Right? It does not change into the normal fruit back. So that is what chemical change is irreversible. Okay? Again, the important point to be remembered, that is chemical changes is irreversible, and in chemical changes, new substances is formed. Okay. Another more some complex example, that is digestion of food. We have learned in digestion, right, that the complex substances, due to the process of digestion, the complex substances turns into simpler ones, right? So what are these complex substances? Carbohydrates, turns into sugar or even simpler carbs, and these proteins, this turns into amino acids. Okay, and also fats, they turn into fatty acids, that is they break down to form fatty acids, right? So this is the digestion, breaking of complex into simpler ones. So after this formation of amino acid, they don't form the same carbohydrate again. So it is irreversible, and see, after this carbohydrate, new product is formed. Okay, so in chemical changes, basically it is irreversible, and also new substances are formed. Unless the new substances are formed, it is physical change. Okay, when the new substances are formed, it is a chemical change. Another example, curdling of milk. How is a curd made? Okay, so how is curd made? You take a sample or milk in a bowl. Okay, in a bowl you have taken a milk here, and to this add some or little like a sample of this curd. Okay, take a milk in a bowl or something and add a sample or a little amount of curd into that, and leave this overnight. Okay, after next morning you see what happens here is this due to addition of this curd, whole milk is turned into curd, right? Isn't it? Whole milk is turned into the curd. Why does this happen? Okay, when you have taken whole milk and when you have just added a little or a small amount of curd, why does the whole milk turns into curd? Again, it is because of the addition of this curd, right? The small amount or the sample what you add to the milk acts as a starter. Okay, and this curd contains a bacteria. Okay, so that bacteria is lactobacillus. Okay, so this bacteria, this curd contains this lactobacillus, that is the name of this bacteria. So what this bacteria does is, this makes this milk to coagulate. Okay, that is, see, when this is milk is a liquid, right? So when there is a formation of curd is not liquid, it is kind of lumpy, right? So this is because of the presence of this bacteria. This bacteria makes the milk to coagulate, that is, it makes the proteins of this milk to form the lumpy structure of this curd, and due to this presence of bacteria, the milk turns into the curd. Okay, and hence the protein structure of the milk is changed. Okay, changed so that the curd is formed. Again, there is also chemical change, and also you can also see a physical change, right? It is physical property change. Here the milk is liquid and there is a slight lumpiness state in this curd. Okay, no matter there is change in the physical properties or not, there is a chemical composition change in the chemical change. Okay, so this is about the chemical change. Another example, burning of wood. See, cutting of wood was a physical change, isn't it? So a large log of wood when you take and when you just cut it, there is nothing changed. It's just the shape, there is no much change, right? It's just the shape of this changes. The big wood log is turned into small pieces. Okay, that is a change you can see, and that is the physical change, right? But when you burn the same wood, okay, when you burn the same wood, there is heat produced, right? There is heat produced also, light is also produced. And burning, okay, see, always the burning takes place in the presence of oxygen, right? And when it burns, it releases out carbon dioxide. Okay, so when this is burning of wood takes place, it releases heat, light and carbon dioxide, and even ash is formed, isn't it? Ashes are formed because of this burning of wood. So what I am trying to say is, see here there is a formation of heat, light, carbon dioxide and ashes. That is, the new substance is formed here. That means chemical changes, okay. In chemical changes always there is a formation of new substances. Clear? And it is irreversible process. When you burn this wood, okay, when the wood is burnt, it is turned into ashes. Yes, the carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, heat is produced, light is produced, but you cannot get back the same wood log. After burning, can you get back the same wood? No, right? It is irreversible. Irreversible means it cannot be reversed. We cannot get back the same substance, okay, the same material. We cannot get back what we have started the reaction with. Okay, when we have started the reaction with the wood, after burning, new products are formed. Since new products are formed already, how can we get the same product back? right? So in chemical changes there is no formation, there is a formation of new substances, and due to that formation of new substances it is irreversible. Okay, when there is new substance formed already, so it doesn't form the same substance what we have started the reaction with. Clear? So this is about the chemical changes. Okay, chemical changes is nothing but substances undergo change in their chemical composition. Okay, this is the major point. Either they change in their physical properties or not, doesn't matter, but there is change in the chemical composition. Whereas in physical changes, what we saw is there has to be a change in the physical properties, and there is nowhere question of change in the chemical composition, right? So, and examples are rusting of iron. Here again, rust is a new product formed. Okay, rust is a new product formed, and with this rust we cannot get back the same iron, right? And also, yes, chemical changes is irreversible. One more example is rotten fruits and vegetables. So after the fruits get rotted, we cannot get back the normal fruit. Does it happen? No, right? Once rotten is, it gets spoiled. Okay, so again we won't get the same fruit back. Even in the digestion of food. Okay, this is a complex example where the digestion, complex substances are chemically changed to form simpler substances. Right? So again, that is an example of chemical change. Also curdling of milk. Okay, due to the addition of the bacteria, that is a sample of curd, there is the whole milk turns into the curd. Okay, and here there is a change in physical property also, right? The liquid has turned into some lump structure, but majorly there is a change in the chemical composition. Okay, the protein structure of the milk is changed, right, due to the addition of bacteria, that is lactobacillus. Again, after formation of curd, from curd do we get the milk back? No, right? We'll get the different products out from the curd, but we won't get back the same product, the same reactant what we used. Okay, hence these chemical changes are irreversible. And yes, because with this milk again the new product is formed, right? Curd is formed. Okay, so again the burning of wood. Remember, this cutting of wood is a physical change. Okay, whereas this burning of wood is a chemical change. Hope you are clear with the concept physical change and chemical change. Okay, so this is all about today's class. In the next class we will discuss more on this chapter. Thank you.